Good morning, I am Professor Vishnu Narayan Saxena. In today's class we will discuss difference between framework and library. Libraries and frameworks are both important tools for software development, but they serve different purposes. Libraries provide a set of pre-written code that can be used to perform specific tasks, while frameworks provide a structure for building applications. When it comes to software development, two of the most commonly used terms are framework and library. While they both serve the same purpose of making the development process easier, there are some key differences between the two. In this class, we'll discuss the difference between framework and library. Definition: a library is a collection of pre-written code that can be used to perform specific tasks. It provides a set of functions or classes that can be called by an application. In contrast, a framework is a complete software package that provides a structure for building applications. It includes libraries, tools, and guidelines for designing and implementing an application. Functionality: a library is a collection of pre-written code that developers can use to perform specific tasks. For example, a JavaScript library like jQuery provides developers with a set of pre-written functions that can be used to manipulate the DOM or perform AJAX requests. A framework, on the other hand, provides a complete structure for building an application. It comes with a set of rules, conventions, and tools that help developers build and deploy their applications. Dependency: libraries can be used independently, whereas frameworks have more dependencies and require adherence to their established structure. Control flow: a library gives the developer complete control over the control flow of the program. The developer can use the library's functions whenever they need them, but the overall control flow of the program remains in the hands of the developer. A framework, on the other hand, provides a predefined control flow for the application. The developer needs to follow the rules and conventions of the framework to build the application. Complexity: libraries are simpler and easier to understand than frameworks, which can be more complex due to their comprehensive nature. Flexibility: libraries are usually more flexible than frameworks. Since a library is just a collection of functions, the developer can pick and choose which functions they want to use and how they want to use them. Frameworks, on the other hand, are more rigid. They provide a predefined structure for the application, and the developer needs to follow that structure. Purpose: libraries are typically used to solve a specific problem, such as managing dates or formatting text. Frameworks, on the other hand, are designed to provide a comprehensive solution for developing applications. Learning curve: libraries are usually easier to learn than frameworks. Since a library is just a collection of functions, the developer only needs to learn how to use those functions. Frameworks, on the other hand, have a steeper learning curve. The developer needs to learn the rules, conventions, and tools of the framework before they can start building an application. Scope: libraries have a narrower scope than frameworks. Libraries usually focus on solving a specific problem or performing a specific task. Frameworks, on the other hand, have a broader scope. They provide a complete structure for building an application, including tools for data access, UI development, and more. Extensibility: libraries are typically designed to be more modular and extensible. Developers can choose to use specific libraries to perform specific tasks, and they can often be easily swapped out for other libraries. In contrast, frameworks are generally less modular and less extensible. Developers must work within the framework's constraints and guidelines. Code ownership: when using a library, the developer owns the code, and the library is merely a tool that helps them accomplish specific tasks. In contrast, when using a framework, the framework owns the code, and the developer builds their application within the framework's structure and conventions. Time to market: libraries can be used to develop applications quickly, while frameworks require more time for planning and setup due to their complexity. In conclusion, libraries and frameworks both have their own strengths and weaknesses. Libraries are more flexible and easier to learn, while frameworks provide a complete structure for building an application. When choosing between a library and a framework, developers need to consider the scope of the project, the learning curve, and the level of control they want over the control flow of the program. In summary, libraries and frameworks serve different purposes and have their own advantages and disadvantages. Developers should choose the right tool for the job based on the specific needs of their application. Now that's enough for today's class. Thank you so much.